Okay, so today what I'm going to do is review what we did on Tuesday, January 12th, for the 3-4 bell and 5-6 bell. And we did a Peer deck. So I'm going to go over the Peer deck. And if you have any questions, send me an email to cread@npsk12.va.us. So your first slide is going to ask you how are you feeling, and then this slide says what is filling your bucket today and what is draining it. So what is filling my bucket today is being with my students, and what is draining my bucket, I would say paperwork and laundry. So then I'm going to go to the next slide. Since I figure out how to get to the next slide. All right, so in order to advance to the next slide, I have to click below, and there's an arrow, and it says today we're doing circle graph SOL 16A, collect, organize, represent data in a circle graph. So that's what we're doing. So the first thing I'm going to do is create a circle graph, creating data for a circle graph in fractions. Ramon asked students in his school to name their favorite sport. The data he collected is shown below. So he had basketball, 20 students said their favorite was basketball, 10 said their favorite was baseball, 5 said their favorite was football, and swimming, 5 students said their favorite was swimming. So when I add that up, 20 plus 10 is 30, plus 5 is 35, plus 5 is 40. When I add that up, my total is 40 students. So in order to make that a fraction, I'm just going to put 20 over 40 because fraction is part to a whole. So 20 students said that, 20 students out of 40 said that their favorite sport was basketball. For baseball, 10 out of 40 said their favorite was baseball. For football, 5 out of 40 said their favorite was football. And for swimming, 5 out of 40 also said their favorite was football. So when I add them up together, I add my numerators, my denominator stays the same. So 40 over 40, which is 1. So now the question is, how do I go from a decimal, from a fraction to a decimal? I'm going to open up my decimals calculator. And 20 divided by 40 is 0.5. 40. 10 divided by 40 is 0.25. And 5 divided by 40 is 0.125. So I'm just going to fill those in on my graph. And I am clicking the T for text. So I can go ahead and type. And if I add those up, those would be equal to 1. So that's a quick way of checking. 0.5 plus 0.25 plus 0.125, and then I got 2 of those. 0.125. Yep, answer is 1. So how do I change these decimals into percent? To change my decimal into a percent, I'm going to multiply this by decimal times 100. So let me erase that and put it here. So that would be my decimal times 100. So in this case, 0.5 That's 50. That makes that 50%. 0.25 times 100 is 25%. And 0.125 times 100% is 12.5. So go ahead and fill those in. And don't forget your percent sign, which is above it is shift 5. And if I add those up together, that's going to be 50% plus 25 plus 12.5 plus 12.5. Yep, I got 100%, so my answers are correct. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go to the next slide, and I'm going to draw my circle graph. So it says Ramon asked his students their favorite sport, collected the data. So now I'm going to draw my circle graph. And so since 20 students is half of 40, I know that I'm going to split this circle right in half. And that's going to be my basketball. I know that 10 students is 25%, so that's a quarter. So I know how to make a quarter. I'm sorry, that's baseball. And then my last line, I'm going to split between those two. I got swimming and football. Close enough. So now, what am I going to do? I'm going to go ahead and put my fractions in, because that's what I said I wanted. So I'm going to use brown. So my basketball is 20 out of 40, or basically that is 1/2. This is 1/4. This is 1/8. 1/8. Look a little freaky, but let me show you how I got that. So I go to my decimals calculator, 20 over 40, and then I'm going to click the fraction button. It's 1/2. 10 over 40, click the fraction button. 5 over 40, and click the fraction button. And that is my circle graph.